In this video, what I want to talk to you guys about is understanding a little bit more about how we can use the idea of visualization. The powerful part of what visualization really is, understanding the effect that it has on our brain, the effect it has on how we feel, and the effect it can have on the idea of what we quote-unquote call our future. Now, for me, this has been a very powerful tool that I've used. One of the first things that I did was I visualized that I would sell $6,600 and some odd dollars at the job that I worked at in that day. Now, I worked at Nordstrom's in women's shoes. I got paid 10% commission on whatever I sold. So the idea is that if I were to sell $6,645 that day, I would make about $600 in that one day. And that was a pretty high goal because on average, we would sell probably $2,000 or $3,000 a day. So I set that goal, and what I did was I wrote it on my mirror, and I would look at it, and I would feel what it would feel like to do that. I would believe that it was possible. I went through a mini process, maybe took 10 or 15 minutes, and I would do that a couple times during the day. What I did was that day I went to work, and by the end of the day, I had almost to the dollar amount, the same amount that I wrote on my mirror. I remember coming home and showing everybody and kind of taking a picture of it, and it was something that I found very exciting. Even what science has shown, for example, is that if they put athletes up to what is called an EEG machine, what they find is that the muscles and the correspondence with the brain is the same type of firings that there would be if they were actually having the race. So what happens is the brain does not know the difference between what is happening to what it is imagining. Now that's where the power of visualization comes in, because imagine the profound effect we can have through rewiring our brain, through rewiring how we feel, through the process and tool of visualization. So I want to explain the idea of visualization from a couple different point of views. Now, the first one is going to be understanding the idea of what we call neurology, or the way that our brain works. So first off, let's understand that every day we think on average between 50 to 60,000 thoughts a day. Now, of those 50 to 60,000 thoughts, 90% of them are recycled from the day before. Now, what this means is that we're consistently doing the same things, we're thinking the same thoughts, and we're having the same type of emotional feelings. We are creatures of habit. Now, the idea is that because we consistently do the same things, we see the same people, and we have the same type of emotions, we are then getting the same type of results in our life. Now, the idea is that we can understand it from a point of view as when we think certain thoughts, we wire our brain in a certain way. So imagine, for example, that somebody is afraid of dogs. Maybe when that person was 5 or 6 years old, had a dog that was barking at him and got scared, or saw a dog into a fight with another dog and got scared. So the idea is that maybe what they did was they thought of dogs and the idea of pain linked to those memories in their brain. And what happens is anytime they think of the association of a dog, it automatically links to those memories. So they start to feel that negative emotion, or they start to feel fearful, or whatever it is. Now, in neurology, what they say is that neurons that fire together wire together. So consistently, if that person thinks the same thoughts over and over again, they begin to hardwire their brain for thinking in that manner. Now, imagine the idea that what we could do is then think from a new point of view if we were to visualize something else. So for example, if that person wanted to get over the idea of the dogs being something that's very negative, what they could do is simply visualize themselves having good interactions with dogs. They could visualize themselves in the future, maybe even having a dog, or what that companionship would feel like. As they begin to think a new way, they literally begin to rewire their brain in a powerful way to where then when they think of the idea of dogs, it has a new level of circuitry, because as they consistently do it, those neurons that are firing together will eventually wire together. Well, the idea is that what we can literally begin to do is begin to pre-pave our future in the present moment now by not linking our thoughts to the memories of the past, but of what we want to experience in the future. And what we then begin to do is think that over and over again to where eventually we begin to feel it. Now, this is where the next part I want to talk about is. Now, what what they've proven in science is that the electromagnetic energy of the heart is thousands of times more powerful than that of the head. And because of that, there is more power in us being able to feel than just to merely think. So what we can begin to do is to use visualization in a powerful way for us to think about what we want until we're able to actually feel it. The end result of visualization isn't so much the idea of the actual visualization of what you see, but it's the feeling that it allows you to feel. So if you can focus on the feeling, it can be a very powerful tool towards being able to really manifest what we want in our life. And a powerful way to do that is to simply set aside 5 or 10 minutes a day and to pre-pave, do what is called segment intending. If you're getting ready to get into your car, what you could do is do this on a smaller scale. You could simply imagine that you feel safe and secure while you drive. You imagine yourself getting into the lanes in a safe way, having easy flow of traffic going wherever you're going. And the idea is that you then begin to pre-pave the experience that you have. You begin to link yourself to that positive emotion, and everything tends to flow easier from then on out. So I want to give you guys the most powerful tip that I've come across for understanding visualization, and that is actually from a book that I read called The Feeling is the Secret. And in this book, the author talks about the idea that before we go to bed at night, within like the last 20 minutes of our day, that is the most powerful time that we can influence our subconscious mind. Now, even if we look at this from the point of view of brainwave activity, as we are shifting into a sleep state, we're going from a beta awake state to an alpha relaxed state to more of a theta state, and then to a delta state, which is sleep state. And as we drift into these states of sleep, what ends up happening is we have more effect over our subconscious mind. Now, our subconscious mind rules like 95% of our life. So one powerful tool for visualization is doing it right before you go to bed every night. Feel into it. Feel the emotion of what it would feel like as you're visualizing what you want. And as you begin to do that, that can have a profound check on your daily experience, because as you begin to do that before you go to bed, you'll find that you wake up in that state, and then that's a very powerful way to prime your day, because if you've ever woken up in a really good mood, you'll find that it kind of drifts throughout your whole day. And on the other side of that, if you stub your toe when you wake up, you'll find that your day ends up going in the opposite direction. So what I encourage you to do is to simply tailor the last 20 minutes of your day towards visualization, towards feeling the emotion of what it would feel like for what you want to experience in your life. And as you begin to do that, you may begin to see your life change in profound ways. I know it's helped me feel the best, feel in a more congruent way to my desires, to doing what I want to do in life, and my hope is that it has the same effect on you. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Feel free to like this video if you liked it, share it if you found it of value, and I will see you guys on the next video. All right, bye.